Welcome to Passenger. I'm Christopher. I'm an expat living in Mexico. I've traveled the world extensively. Along with others, we plan to bring you our insights into travel and traveling. We will focus on food, drink, film, and especially opinion. It'll be 100% politically incorrect, and we'll have no problem expressing it to you. Check out our website at coffeepuss.com for photos, film, reviews, podcast, blog, and links. So, please be our passenger. Roll down your window and come along for the ride. Hello, everybody. This is Christopher, and today we are going to talk about where we just got back from, Bali, Indonesia. We came to Bali through Singapore and landed in Kuta Beach, and spent 3 days in Kuta Beach. Kuta Beach is the main city in Bali. It's where you're going to land. It's where you see those massages on the beach and the big beach and the surfing and the sunset shots. But what you got to remember about Kuta Beach is that Kuta Beach is a busy, dirty city. It's nothing like the images that are in your head about Bali. Kuta Beach is polluted. The water's not that clean. We've seen a lot of plastic and bottles out in the water. They don't maintain the sand on the beach. A lot of cars, a lot of tour companies, restaurants, bars. They all work out of Kuta Beach. If I recommend it for you, you to go to Kuta Beach, spend a day, maybe two. We spent 3, checking it out, going to all the bars, seeing the nice restaurants, making your plans, organizing your excursions, and then go from there if you haven't made plans to stay at one of their resorts. Okay, so let's get started with what we did. We landed in Kuta Beach, and like I said, I was surprised. So this ain't Bali. This ain't what I seen in the postcards and TV shows. And there's a lot of back alleys that are really streets, but they look like alleys. And you can walk anywhere in Kuta Beach. The food is good. The prices are not good. Hotel pricing, we paid about $30 a night US. And remember, everything over there is valued against the US dollar. But everybody spoke English. The Balinese people were very nice and courteous and kind. Both the men and the women. I'd never felt threatened or that anybody was going to hurt us or was out to get us or was going to rip us off. But the culture there is very religious. I was talking to somebody about is it Buddhism, and they said no, it's not Buddhism. It's a version of Buddhism. But most of the people on Bali were not Muslims either, like Indonesia. There were some, and we met them, and they were all nice to us and everything. The food is very good. It's the same. To me, it was the same kind of food through that entire area of Singapore, Bangkok, Malaysia, a mix of everything. I mean, one night we even went and ate at a Mexican restaurant there. And it was, to tell you the truth, Mexican food was good. It was not bad. Even though it was cheaper than I could get in the U.S. Mexican food, for Indonesia, it just seemed to me to be expensive. We found that the best time to go would be in July, August, or around Christmas, New Year's, because it can get real hot over there and humid and sticky, and the mosquitoes are bad. So if you come during the monsoonish hot season, just remember there's going to be a lot of mosquitoes. And we were not there during that time. We were pretty much during the dry season, and it was still a lot of mosquitoes. Like I said, Kuta Beach, a lot of bars, a lot of restaurants, a lot of backpackers, a lot of surfers, a lot of Australians who were really cool. I talked to several of them, and I love Australians. They're most more like Americans than any other country I've been to around the world. Their their mindset and everything just reminds me of Americans. But they were there surfing. Tour groups from Australia that were families or husband and wife on an anniversary doing tours. They were in Kuta Beach waiting for their tour to take off. They were all looking forward to these rice paddies that are terraced and elevated. I don't know why, but several of them told me that they wanted to see that. Another thing, there's a lot of different excursions out of Kuta Beach and a lot of tour companies. So make the rounds because the prices are different. And then you got to find out, will they pick you up? Will they deliver you back to your hotel? You got to find out, does that include lunch or lunch and dinner? If you're going to take say, a rafting trip, you got to find out if everything's included. We did take a couple tours through the hill country. We seen those rice paddies I was telling you about. They picked us up at the hotel, but it's funny. The streets are so small and everything there that this guy shows up at our room, knocks on the door and says, "We're here to pick you up to take you to on your tour." So we come out and there's two guys sitting there on motorcycles. And, the little small 100cc motorcycles you see all through Asia. We said, well, hold on. I mean, you're not taking us on this tour on those motorcycles. And they said, no, the streets are small, that we just came to pick you up to take you to the tour van because it can't make it down this street. We got on the bikes, went to the tour van. I was the only American in there. There was some people from Singapore, a couple people from Hong Kong, but everybody else on that tour bus was Australia. I talked to several of them, and they all want to know where I was from. One of them was asking me about if we had kiwi in the United States. I said, yeah, we have it. It's, I don't think it's indigenous to the United States, but we have it. I've had it. And so they offered me some, and one of them offered me a kiwi sandwich. I didn't take it. I told him thank you, but it was just funny, a kiwi sandwich. The excursions were great. I mean, it took us up through the mountains. We seen those rice paddies. We went. They included a restaurant for lunch. Several nice places. Waterfall was really nice. It seemed once you got out at Kuta Beach, things were a lot more beautiful. I have heard that the way to go to Bali, and we didn't do this, but is to go on all-inclusive club, it's sort of like Club Meds, but you would go there, stay there, pay them for the week, and it usually includes your food and everything else. And these resorts that they have over there like that are beautiful. We seen one, and it was nice. They're expensive, and you're paying U.S. dollars for that. If you have the money, that's the way to go. Then it would be a lot more relaxing than to do what we did, to stay in Kuta Beach and pick up our excursions out. The traffic all around Kuta Beach is bad. Once you get out of Kuta Beach, yeah, it's better, but people are still moving fast. They're not polite. If you're on foot, it's walker beware over there. You got to remember they're driving on the wrong side of the road. I'm from the U.S., so when you cross the street, you're looking exactly the opposite direction of the way you should, because you forget that the sides of the road they're driving on is different. The beach over there is like 2.5 kilometers long. It's not great. They have a couple bars on the beach in Kuta Beach that you can go to watch the sunset. They're famous for that. I remember we were just sitting on the wall surrounding the beach. Well, at first, this guy pulls up on one of those small motorcycles, and he just parks his motorcycle, and he looks like he's just going to get out and walk by us. But no, he stops, gets off his bike, slowly walks over to us, and then on the floor, he rolls out this piece of linoleum, floor linoleum, in, and he rolls it out, and it's about 3 feet by 4 feet, and he rolls it out flat. Then he turns it over, and on the back side, this beautiful painting of Bali done on the back side of linoleum. It was just funny, and I have that now here at the house. It was hard to mount, but we got it mounted. It looks great. They started at a real high price, and you haggle down, but over there, you just haggle with a smile on your face. You don't, oh man, that's expensive. Can't you give me a better price? And you smile, and you both work out to an agreed upon price. But then it got really bad because once somebody sees you bought something, here they come, and there must have been 10 people after that selling us everything you can think of. And so we, instead of it being an enjoyable time of sitting there and watching the sunset, we had to move and go to one of those restaurants in order to get some privacy. Whatness. Also, surfing's great. That beach in Kuta Beach is the main beach that you see all of those surfing shots in, but you can rent a board right there on the beach. You can rent somebody to teach you how to surf right there on the beach. You can get individual lessons or group lessons. They'll take you out into the water. I mean, they work hard for their money. I've been to some other surfing camps, and they tell you, okay, if you want to go left, you do this, right, you do this, and how you do this and this, and then they leave you to practice, and you don't see them for an hour. These guys stood right there and helped you out and helped you up on the board and went and got your board when I lost it. Very good. I mean, it wasn't much money. I mean, we paid them for like 3 hours. It was like $15, and then we gave them another $5 tip. They also have on that same beach women that work with these little chairs or have these mats, and you can get a massage, which not as sissy as you think, because they'll just sit behind you sometimes, and you'll sit on your beach chair, and they'll sit behind you and then just like massage your neck, and they're really good. Well, I found it really relaxing and not as embarrassing as I thought it would be, being right there on the beach. But you can, lay down on your towel and they'll give you a full massage. It's all legit too. So you see a lot of people, women doing it, men doing it. I even seen some kids, parents bought it for their kids. Shopping in all of Bali, but mostly in Kuta Beach, is there's a lot of knockoffs, a lot of fakes, a lot of haggling. As soon as they see you're a tourist, you get the tourist price, and then so you got to knock them down on price, and it's repetitive because you have to do it all the time. But shopping at Kuta Beach is not that great. It's not what they didn't have this great inventory of stuff. It's mostly tourist stuff. There's a lot of touts over there, so a lot of them, and they're all, hey buddy, sir, 1 minute, sir, please, and and the restaurants have them in front of their restaurants, and the stores have them in front of their stores, and the tour companies have them in front of their. So you're hearing that all day. You walk down the street, and they're all over you. Another thing I was surprised too is you can rent anything you want. Like we rented those 100cc motorcycles, and we took off out of Kuta Beach just on our own. And it wasn't expensive. It was $10. We were gone half the day, and Bikes are easy to drive. I mean, if you know how to drive a motorcycle, it's real easy to drive. And if you didn't, it would only take you 30 minutes to learn how to drive it. Those bikes are really cool. They can stay up with traffic, so you don't have to, it's not like having some little 25 mile an hour bike. These things can move. They give you a helmet. You can pick up a map there, and which we did, and just went to the places that we have heard about that were within 20 miles of Kuta Beach. Now, Bali in general, and especially Kuta Beach, is becoming vastly overdeveloped. Now here come the condos, and here come the real estate developers, and with that is an influx of workers. Bali had to put a cap, or now like a visa system, on its own country in order to stop all of the people trying to move to Bali to make a better living, because it was getting overpopulated. They don't have the infrastructure to handle it. It's like they're killing the golden goose by doing all this. It is probably Indonesia's most famous island, so some of the food variety over there. We like this soup, was called basung. It's sort of like a meatball soup. It's prevalent everywhere, and it was delicious. We had a lot of that. On one tour, we stopped at a restaurant for lunch, and the food was great. Plenty of it. It was a buffet. And when we finished, everybody on the bus headed back to the bus, and we got to the porch of the restaurant. And outside this porch of restaurant had to be 40 children. And these children were young. They were, from, I'd say, 5 to 10 years old. And they're all yelling, selling postcards. And postcards and other things, but basically postcards. And just, they're all screaming in unison. And if you can imagine it, the way it sounded with these children screaming in unison, please, 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 buy my postcards. And it just broke my heart that, you could only buy postcards from one, which we did with some young girl. She's real grateful that we bought these postcards. And I think, how come you guys ain't in school? I mean, everybody on the bus, I think, bought something off of them, but it was just funny. They weren't there when we went in, and we came out, and they were on us. But I needed the postcards anyways, and I sent them all out, so it wasn't expensive, so I was helping them out. But that's the kind of thing that I remember, and you see along the way that aren't in the tour books. We went to the Highland resorts to check them out, and those are like the hilltop resorts, and it's cooler, and that's where the waterfalls and stuff were. These resorts were nice, really nice. These are what you see on TV as far as Bali. They're beautiful. They have these little bungalow cottages that you see. We rented one for 2 days. You walk into the bungalow, and it has your bed with a couch, and it's all tropical Indonesian design. Had a bathroom, 4 walls on the bathroom with no roof. So it was like being outside. Inside the bathroom, they had plants, and you leave the bungalow, and they had a main area, and in this main area, they had a restaurant, and we buy our meals there. And then they had their own private lake area and beautiful waterfall right there. The service was excellent. Everybody was polite, and they bent over backwards to help you and do anything you wanted. So that's what we were there, a total of 4.5 days. We spent most of our time in Kuta Beach. take a lot of excursions out of Kuta Beach to see what we wanted to see. We had done 2 tours with this one company, and the guy that picked me up at the hotel, I forgot his name now, but he was a real nice guy. He asked us what we were going to do, and I said, well, we're leaving tomorrow. And he asked me if we needed a ride to the airport. And I said, yes, we do. I was thinking that they must have had a van or something. And he said, okay, what time you leaving? And then I told him it was like 11 o'clock. And he says, okay, I come pick you up. He shows up. So all I have in my backpack. He showed up on his motorcycle. So I get on his motorcycle. I think he's going to drive us up to the van. We're going to get in the van and go to the airport. Get on the bike. He immediately gets on the main street and drove me all the way to the airport on the back of his motorcycle. So that was funny. I wasn't expecting that. After that, we headed back to Singapore, and we'll talk about Singapore later, but I like Bali, found it interesting, was nothing like I thought it was. If I do go back there, I think I will stay at a resort, but some of the kindest, nicest people I've ever met, the Australians I met there, are really cool too. So I hope to go back there on my next Asian trip, but I know we're thinking of going to Samui too, so I recommend you going to Bali at least once. And go soon, because you're probably not going to like it in 10 years. So anyways, I'm Christopher, and till we meet again,